Yo, again, this is another version of my Abyss Actor deck file. I know I'm moving around a little bit too much. I'm a little shaky because today is Halloween, so happy Halloween to all of you guys. So I decided to go with my Halloween, my Abyss Actor deck. This is a pure build. Um, I am waiting to get certain cards for this deck to complete the main deck, and then certain cards for the extra deck that I need. So I will be stating what's proxy, and if you actually have the real versions of these cards that I need and you don't use them, please throw them my way, or let me know down in the comments. So either way, and the one that I will be giving a shout out to today is his name is Derek, but I will be giving him a shout out in the description, and I'll be saying why. So Derek alone, that's for you. And then of course shout out to my mom for getting me certain things that I need for the deck, and then of course shout out to Mark Sanchez for helping me get this deck all together, and then of course shout out to everyone else who actually helped me along the way. Anyway, let's get into the list, shall we? Starting off, we have three. Wild Hope. Wild Hope is mainly because you're using Wild Hope mainly because he is your main search. Um, Now the fact that I am proxying a higher rank, a higher skill card, you don't really need his effect that much anymore. But his effect does come in handy a lot. But you usually use him for his destroyed effect, so you can search out a better card that will also allow you to search. The next three of running is, of course, um, Twinkle Little. Sorry, not Twinkle Little Star. Let's zoom in there a bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the next card we are running is Leading Lady. Leading Lady is your main one to add an Abyss Actor monster back from your extra deck to your hand, if need be, when you take damage, or just altogether just drain your opponent's attack by the amount of damage that you took. And of course, when she is destroyed, you get it in the monster zone. You get a set and Abyss script directly from your deck, so that helps out tremendously. Then of course we are running um, three of what's his name, Curtain Raiser. Curtain Raiser is kind of like a spicy tech in the deck. Oh, not necessarily, but he is a spicy tech in all other what's it called, in all other pendulum decks. A lot of people run him, and because you have him in the scale effect, just special. You just normal him. You automatically have your links for Electromite, and then you get a pendulum summon off, and so forth. So a lot of people run him. His pendulum effect is a once per duel. If he's the only monster on the field, he gains 1100 attack, so he becomes a 2200 beat stick. And not only that, but in this deck, in his own archetype deck, he actually in this archetype, he actually simulates your abyss scripts by milling them from your deck, and then adding an abyss actor from your extra deck back to your hand. So that helps out tremendously. The next three ofs we run, and the last of the three ofs that is the real cards, are Superstar. Superstar is your main level 7. She is your, well, she or he, whatever it is your boss monster. You always want to see it, unless you want to have Evil Heal on the field. And then not only that, but like once per turn, you can set an Abyss script directly from your deck to the field. And not only that, but by its effect, you actually gain the ability when it's normal special summon, your opponent cannot activate anything. So it helps out. Well, moving into the three of on the proxies, which is the last three of that we run until I can get my hands on three of this. And of course, Derek, I'll be letting you know why I am giving you a shout out in this video. We are running three proxies. I had to label it because this is not the only proxy that I'm using. So as you can see, that's a proxy, right? That's a piece of paper right there. No, it is not taped or glued to the cards. So it's, I mean, like, I know a lot of people want proof, so Please excuse my bad attempt at a proxy. I would have printed out like actual cards, actual proxies, but I didn't have that luxury. I don't have that luxury at the moment, so sorry. Either way, we do run three proxy. We are going to be running three proxies of we are going to be running three proxies of wait, hold on. Before we continue, let me turn something off real fast. Okay, so we are going to be running three proxies of Melomadonna. Melomadonna is really good because her pendulum effect essentially allows you to just pay 1,000 life points, search out an Abyss Actor, and you can't special summon anything except for Abyss Actors that turn. Also, by her effect, her monster effect, if an opponent, if your monster is destroyed by, if a pendulum monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, just special her to your field. Also, if an Abyss Script spell is activated, you can target one Abyss Actor monster. You can special summon one level 4 lower Abyss Actor type monster from your deck, but return it during the end phase. So that helps out with getting out your other monsters that you need. Going back into the real cards, we run two of Evil Heal. Evil Heal is the one to help you make your Hope Harbinger if you cannot bring out your Synchro monsters. But he is extremely good because when he's special summoned, normal special summon, you could essentially just drain your opponent's attack down to 0, and then not only that, but you also gain the effect of when he destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you gain the effect of sending an Abyss Script from your deck. So that helps out tremendously. You don't really use this pendulum effect. We run one Trendy Understudy mainly because Trendy Understudy is a scale 8, and not only that, but he helps bring out your Evil Heal when need be if you don't want to use Twinkle Little Star to bring her out. I know Twinkle Little Star hasn't came out in TCG yet, but I'm still proxying her either way, which you'll see in a bit. One Funky Committee mainly to make Link Karibo sometimes, but most of the time for scale 8. Usually if we're not having Twinkle Little Star in the scale, but this one actually does come good for Link Karibo's effects. One Sassy Rookie mainly for stalling, for when you don't have anything, you just set your opponent would attack it, effect, it cannot be destroyed, then he destroys it again. Effect when destroyed, just special summon Curtain Raiser, then effective Curtain Raiser, mill. Like say your opponent destroys it by card effect during your turn, and actually succeeds. Effect just special summon Curtain Raiser, effective Curtain Raiser, mill for mill one of them, bring him back, then pendulum summon him right back to the field, then link, and you got yourself your a good card right there. You got a good combo, a bit of a combo right there. Then we are running one of extras mainly in case you pull it and you don't have Melomadonna. Just effect normal effect. Place Melomadonna in your scale, effective Melomadonna, pay 1,000, add Twinkle Little Star, and pop off from there. Then we are running one Twinkle Little Star, mainly because she is a scale 9. Sorry, I had to write down the card effects. She is another level 4 monster with 1,000 attack and 1,000 defense. Her pendulum effect is you cannot pendulum summon monsters except Abyss Actor type monster, Abyss Actor pendulum monsters. Once per turn, you can target one Abyss Actor monster you control. That monster can attack 3 times this turn. Okay, so, and of course, cannot. other monsters you control cannot attack. Her monster effect is, and of course I'm summarizing majority of this. Her monster effect is cannot be destroyed by battle during your turn each battle phase. This card can make 3 attacks per battle phase, so that's actually very good. And I actually need a Japanese version of this, which is ultra rare, I do believe. So if anyone happens to have it, please throw it my way. Like, please let me know in the comments or hit me up on Messenger. You can talk to, you can message me about that. Comic Relief is pretty good. He is a scale 8, level 3, dark with 1000 attack and 2000 defense. You can target one Abyss Actor Pendulum. His Pendulum effect is you can target one Abyss Actor Pendulum monster you control and one monster your opponent controls. Switch controllers of both of those then destroy this card. This card one this so the this card is, okay, so you can only activate this effect once per turn. So if you have a weak monster and your opponent has a stronger monster, just essentially just effect from the scale, switch the two, then destroy him. And then with Electromite's effect, because he was destroyed, you gain all, which actually helps out. His monster effect is you take no battle damage involving this card once per turn. Give the control of this card to your opponent once per turn. When the control of this card is changed, the owner of this card destroys one set of Abyss Script Spell Trap card in their Spell Trap card zones. So, in a sense, just you can effect. You have one on your field. Just effect, switch, pop, and then he would if your opponent needed that monster, he would just activate, switch him back, then effect just destroy yours. So that actually does kind of help out. But the only thing is, your Abyss Scripts only work when they're targeted by an opponent, not yourself. And then of course, last monster, which is not an Abyss Actor monsters for your synchro summons, is DD Orthros. DD Orthros is your tuner of the deck, not Luster Pendulum, as I said before in my other videos of this deck list of this deck. You do not run Luster Pendulum mainly because you do run a monster that is not a Luster, that is not a Draco. So that DD Orthros is very good. So when you activate um, Madonna's effect, and you have him in your scale, if you have him in your hand, effect just special, and then you get a pop off on a synchro, which is a lot better than what anything else can do. That's all for the monsters. That is a lot of monsters. Though this deck does not have any traps. So, yeah. Okay, so the natural Raigeki of the deck is 3 of Abyss Daemon. Rise of the Abyss King. Rise of the Abyss King. If it's destroyed and it meets the requirements of every Abyss Script spell, which is having a face-up Abyss Actor Pendulum monster in your extra deck. By this one's effect, if it was set and destroyed by an opponent's card effect, essentially you just gain the ability to add 2 Abyss Actor or Abyss Scripts from your deck to your hand with different names, and of course by its effect you destroy you can destroy cards up to the number of face-up attack position Abyss Actor monsters you control with different names. So you have an entire field of Abyss Actor Pendulum monsters with different names. Just effect nuke. So that is tremendously good. The one that you use to spam your field the most is Abyss Daemon. Abyss Script Abyss Daemon is mainly there to shuffle your like tribute one Abyss Actor monster you control, then set an Abyss script directly from your deck to the field. I mean, from your grave to the field. You can use that effect twice per turn. Effect when it's set and it meets its requirements, which is every Abyss script's requirements. You get to spam the field with Abyss Actor monsters. So that is tremendously good in every possible way because you always want to spam your field so you can pull off extra links. Okay, so the next card we run, which is a proxy, which is the field spell of Fantastic Theater. Abyss Playhouse Fantastic Theater. You can reveal one Abyss script and one Abyss Actor monster from your hand. Add a different Abyss script spell from your deck to your hand with a different name of the revealed one. While you control a Pendulum Summon Abyss Actor monster, any monster effect activated becomes destroy once by an opponent's card by opponent's by an opponent becomes destroy one set spell trap card. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. So in a sense, like the main effect where you get to like reveal two cards and add one Abyss Script spell trap is a once per turn effect, which is actually pretty good. Um, we do run one opening ceremony mainly because opening ceremony is actually that one to help you gain your life points back when using Melomadonna's effect. Not only that, but when it's set and it's destroyed and it meets its requirements, which is every Abyss Script's requirements. By its effect, you gain a new entire hand. Then we are running two terraforming, mainly essentially just add one field spell from your deck to your hand, mainly to get your what's his name, your what's his name, your Abyss Playhouse, Fantastic Theater back to your into your hand, and then just activate it. Check it out for other cards like running a second Comic Relief and second or anything or any traps that you want. So that is a plus side if you wanted. And of course, because this is a dark deck, we are running 3 Allure of Darkness. I'm thinking about changing Allure of Darkness for Swords of Sacred Swords 7 stars. But this card actually does come in handy. Essentially, just draw 2, banish 1 dark monster. If you don't have a dark monster in your hand, then send your entire hand to the graveyard. And of course, like I said, the entire deck is dark monsters, so there's no problem with that. And of course, the last card, which is a proxy, which I actually managed to get a printout of this while I was still in school, was Raigeki. I do need a real one, whether common or what. It don't really matter, but still hit me up for all the proxies that I use. Well, that's all for the main deck. Oh yeah, Raigeki, an extra way to wipe out your opponent's monsters. Extra deck going. We have one Supreme King Clearwing, mainly because Walking Raigeki, and of course 2500 Beat Stick also helps you bring out your rank 8 monster that you're running. Other than that, you don't really need it, or it's just a little tech that you can run. Ignister, Prominence, the Blasting Jocko Slayer, mainly because you can shuffle your opponent's monster back in one card your opponent controls or on the field back into the deck by tributing or destroying one card in this spell in this pendulum zone, destroy it. And if you do, shuffle one card on the field back into the deck. So that actually does help out tremendously. Supreme King Dark Rebellion, mainly because you drain your opponent's attack down to 0. Oh, and I forgot to mention one thing about the Supreme King Clearwing. When you attack and destroy an opponent's monster effect, you get to destroy your opponent's monster during the damage calculation, and your opponent takes that damage too. So that's like a double whammy. Not only that, also with this card, well, yeah, that's all we use Supreme King Dark Rebellion for. Wait. We are using one Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon mainly for protection, just in case we need the protection. And also, we use Red Eyes Flare Metal. Number 11 Big Eye essentially for gaining control of your opponent's monsters for extra links. Hope Harbinger, which is the only rank 8 that you're running, mainly for mainly for um, what's it called, for bringing, for negating, and then of course stopping your opponent from attacking one of your monsters and just target it instead, and so forth, which is actually pretty good. One Link Karibo, effective Link Karibo. Um, Hold on. Okay, so Link Karibo's effect is when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you contribute this card, change that monster's attack to 0 until the end of this turn. If this card is in your graveyard, quick effect, you can contribute one level 1 monster, special summon this card from your graveyard. You can only use this effect once per turn. So that actually does help out tremendously, mainly because you can actually search out your level 1's pendulum, summon them back when you link, and then like your opponent attacks, the effect is drained down to 0. Your opponent's monster gets destroyed instead by tributing this card, then effect tribute, and then special right back, you get another link summon. So that helps out tremendously. One Nightmare Cybers. Of course, the rest, majority of the rest are proxies. So I'm asking that you guys, please, please help me with the real cards if you can. Okay, so of course, like every nightmare, you need 2 or more monsters with different names. If this card is link summon, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 special summon monster your opponent controls in their main monster zones. Destroy it, and then if this card was co-linked, when this effect was activated, draw 1 card. Of course, this Of course, you can only use this effect of not mythical, Nightmare Cyberus once per turn. Also, once per turn, if this card is co-linked, the co-linked monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. So your opponent tries to activate Raigeki, by its effect, they cannot be destroyed by card effects. Then going into Nightmare Phoenix. Uh, Nightmare Phoenix, of course, is a fire with 1400 attack. 1900 attack. Its effect is you can target one spell trap, destroy it. Then, if if this card was co-linked, you get a draw 1 card. Of course, co-linked monsters cannot be destroyed by battle, so your opponent cannot destroy anything that's co-linked with it. Um, Nightmare Nightmare Unicorn. Discard 1 card, then return 1 card to the deck. If co-linked, draw 1 card. While you have co-linked Nightmare monsters for your normal draw, in the draw phase, draw 1 card for each co-linked Nightmare monster cards instead of 1. So that actually does help out tremendously. I'm sorry, that was kind of crappy of me not showing it that much. But yeah, that is actually a very good card effect, mainly because you gain more of a draw, and then it's like an extra draw. As you can tell, if it was real, it would have a shine, but it does not have the shine, and it's a lot thicker than what. And then, of course, once it's face up in your extra deck, you contribute. You can destroy one monster in your main monster zones, or 1 card in your spell and trap zones or your pendulum zone, and destroy it. And if you do, add 1 abyss face up pendulum monster in your extra deck. In your pendulum zone leaves. by its effect, you get to draw another card, so that helps out with a lot. Um, Proxy Dragon mainly for co-links. Also, if a card you control would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can destroy one card too instead. So that actually does kind of help out a lot. If you have this card on the field, along with Electromite, and then you have Wild Hope right there, and he would try to attack your Electromite effect, destroy your Wild Hope effect of Wild, then it gets destroyed instead. Then effect, just search for an Abyss Actor Pendulum monster from your deck to add it to your hand. So that does help out a lot in a lot of given ways. Next, we do run Decode Talker again for mainly for extra links, of course, and for the extra attack that he gains because he gains 500 attack for each monster that. So that actually does help out a lot because you get a tribute, then negate. We are running one Zephyr Metaltron mainly because it is like a version of Omega, and of course, when a special summon monster that this card points to from the that was special summoned from the extra deck would be destroyed by battle or by an opponent's card effect. Add one monster from your graveyard or face up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Also, you can target one monster that was special summoned from the extra deck on both sides of the fields, banish them for until the end of the turn, which is actually pretty good because it also helps you make room for your link summons. And then, of course, one proxy of Firewall Dragon. Again, yes, it is a proxy. I'm sorry for proxying a lot of cards in this deck. One swap is on the field, quick effect. You can target one monster on the field and or in the graveyard up to the number of monsters co-linked to this card. Return them to the hand, and if a monster in this card points to is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one monster from your hand. So the revival effect, like the special summon effect, is pretty much beast, and not only that, but all the other effects just make it even worthwhile, even way more worthwhile. That's all for the main deck. Going into the side deck, we are siding one Performer Pal Hands Samurai because when she destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add a level 7 or higher Abyss Actor type, a level 5 or higher Abyss Actor one level 5 or higher Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. So in a sense, she does help out with getting your Mellow Madonna if you can't search Mellow Madonna at that point, or Twinkle Little Star, or any other card. Right there. Then we are using two Rescue Hamsters mainly for the because of the fact that you can banish this card from your get back your two Mellow Madonnas. That's pretty much all we're citing him for. Mare mainly because it is a token generator. Fantasy Magic because it does kind of combo better off with not Wild Hope. What's his name? It does combo off a little bit better with Evil Heal and of course Sassy Rookie. Reciting an extra opening ceremony just in case um, for extra draw power and stuff like that. Pendulum Storm mainly to pop your scales and then destroy your opponent's back row. One Pendulum Reborn mainly because you can't pendulum summon your your what's his face. You won't be able to pendulum summon your Orth Orthros back until like you actually get rid of Twinkle Little Star. And then of course the proxy of Omega. Mainly because during once per turn during the main phase quick effect you can banish this card, this face up on the field, and one random card from your opponent's hand face up until the end of the next standby phase. During your opponent's standby phase, you can target one banished card, return it to the graveyard. if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one other monster in your graveyard. Shove both that card and this card from the graveyard back into the deck. So that actually does help out with synergy. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like button. Please hit the like button. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified of every video I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So happy Halloween, guys. Derek, I haven't forgotten about you. I will be leaving your shout out in the description right now after I finish this video. And of course, that's all for now, guys. Catch you guys later.